Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name's Maddie and today's video is going to be my TBR jar picks my February TBR. I've never actually done one of these videos before because I am such a mood reader and I feel like making myself read books that I don't feel like reading could put me in a reading slump. But also, one time I filmed a reading books I don't feel like reading video and I ended up rating most of those books in that video 4 stars, and one of them was almost a 5-star. So I feel like a TBR jar could work for me because sometimes you don't even know where to start. My problem is that there are just too many books and not enough time to read them. Let's get into it. I have my trusty mason jar right here. I made 22 prompts and I'm going to pick 8 out. Okay, first prompt. A book with less than 300 pages. I know the perfect book. I just got it last month for Christmas. It's called Comfort Zone by Alison Spica. She is an indie author. I discovered her through TikTok. She does a really great job of promoting her work on there, and I figured I would support her. It's a romance book and it looks good, and it is a quick read at only 264 pages. Okay, the second prompt. A book with a one-word title. I put this in there not thinking I would pick this. Let me see if I have any on my physical TBR that would work for this. Okay, I don't have any books on my physical TBR with a one-word title, but I remembered I put Fast by Millie Belizaire on my 2024 TBR. In my reading journal, I did 24 books I want to read in 2024, and I put this on my TBR because I heard Shaughnessy, who is a big booktuber, recommend it and say that it's one of her favorite books ever, and I want to read it. So I'm gonna add Fast to my February TBR. It's on Kindle Unlimited, so I don't have to buy it, and apparently it is really sad though. Let's pick the third prompt. Come on, let's get a romance. Oh, I got 2. I didn't see them. A book you've been avoiding. I have 3 books in mind, and these are books that I've been avoiding, not necessarily because I don't want to read them, but because I am so late to that game. These books have been hyped for a long time, and I feel like I missed the hype train. But we have Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I don't even have to explain this book. This is such a popular book. It's won so many awards. I have to read it. I might as well do it this month. I'm leaning towards this one. Then we have The Nightingale. Again, it's just not my genre, and it's a chunky book. It's looking like 550 pages. Yeah, over 550 pages. So there's that. And then my last option, a book that I've been avoiding, is Divine Rivals. I actually started it and I got 10% a few months ago, but I DNF'd it because it wasn't the right time for me to be reading it. I just wasn't feeling it. Probably right book, wrong time. But since then, I haven't really felt the urge to pick it back up. And my cousin texted me last night and asked if I had read it, and I told her no, and that I've kind of been avoiding it because it's one of those books that have been so hyped up that I'm afraid, since it's so hyped up, I'm gonna think it's awful, because that happened to me with Powerless by Lauren Roberts. It's not that it was a bad book, it's just that it was so severely hyped up to me that I thought it was gonna be my favorite book of all time, and it just wasn't. It was an okay book. And so I asked my cousin if she read it when she asked me that, and she said yes, and that she didn't think it was worth the hype. So that book I actually am avoiding, for real, for real. These books I have nothing against. I'm gonna go with Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Woohoo! Okay, for our 4th book, let's see what prompt we get. Please be romance, please be romance. A book you don't feel like reading. Why is this happening? I gotta shake this up. We ain't playing around. Okay, you know what I'm immediately thinking? I guess I have to do Divine Rivals. I literally just said I don't feel like reading that book. Divine Rivals, added to the list. I have it on Kindle Unlimited. Okay, for our 5th book, audiobook. I can do audiobook. I think I have some out from the library right now. Let's see. Okay, I had 2 thoughts in my mind. I only ever have 2 thoughts in my head because there's not much up there. But I was thinking about re-listening to Magnolia Park's The Long Way Home on audiobook on Spotify. And the reason I'm saying this is because Magnolia Park's Into the Dark, the final book in Magnolia and BJ's story, is coming out, I think, on Valentine's Day. And I want to have a little recap of what happened. So that's an option. But I think I'm actually going to go with my second option because I have this book out from the library already on the Libby app, and it's only 7 hours compared to Magnolia Park's 19 hours. It's called Wintering: The Power of Rest and Retreat in Difficult Times by Catherine May. I think I saw someone recommend this on either YouTube or TikTok. Seems like it's an uplifting book when life knocks you down, and it kind of talks about the author's hardships and how she got through them. So I feel like that could be really inspiring and a good listen. We're adding that to the list. Okay, we have 3 more. The way I'm literally putting this back in there and pretending like I didn't get this. Reread a book you read when you were younger. Okay, I wrote this because I had a book in mind and it's perfect for Valentine's Day. I'm gonna reread The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. This book single-handedly changed my life. I wish I was still the person I was when I first read this book. I remember going to the midnight premiere for when this movie came out and just absolutely having the best time, still sobbing. I am obsessed with this story. So in the book, they actually traveled to Amsterdam, and in the movie, they actually filmed those scenes in Amsterdam, and there is this scene where they're sitting on a bench looking out at the canals. And when Sam and I visited Amsterdam, we found the bench and it had like a bunch of The Fault in Our Stars quotes on it, and people had written TFIOS all over it. It was the highlight of my life because this book was everything to me. It still is everything to me. You know what? I could actually probably quote the entire movie. And I could probably recite the whole book without looking at it. Okay, that's a little dramatic, but I remember all of my favorite moments from this book. And it is horribly sad, but you know what? I love books that make you feel something. Okay, we have 2 more. I'm so happy. A book in your Kindle library. Perfect, because I already have like 20 Kindle Unlimited books downloaded. We have The Ordeal of Being Known by Malia Rose, In the Likely Event by Rebecca Yarros. The plot of this sounds incredible. All the Little Raindrops by Mia Sheridan, Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. I want to read that one too. I want to read all of these. Addicted to You by Chris and Becca Ritchie, but that is opening up a can of worms because that is like a 30-book series. I heard today on TikTok someone mention When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. And I do like picking books that people haven't heard of sometimes, which is why I'm also drawn to The Ordeal of Being Known. But you know what? I'm gonna do In the Likely Event by Rebecca Yarros. All right, we only have 1 more. I'm so sad. A thriller. I'm gonna pretend like I didn't pick that one either because I don't really feel like that. Yes! Yes! Y'all, I made so many prompts in here that were like a romance book, a book over 500 pages, and then I literally put the book that I want to read on here, Binding 13, because I was hoping I would pick at least one of the prompts where I could choose Binding 13. And then I just got so desperate earlier, like because I really want to read that series, that I just put Binding 13 on here, and I got it. So let's go. This is a blessing and a curse because I feel like I'm going to be obsessed with that series, and I just challenged myself with 7 other books that I need to read this month by filming this video. But once I start reading Binding 13, I feel like I'm gonna abandon my TBR and read the other 3 books in the series. I guess that's a good problem to have. I've been putting this one off, even though I know I'm gonna love it, because I want the physical books, since I have an inkling that I'm going to love it. But I don't like any of the covers of the physical books. The indie ones went out of print, and those were the only ones that I really liked. And then I think Bloom is the one that published it. I don't like any of their covers. But I also don't want to buy it on the Kindle because it's not free on the Kindle. It's not on Kindle Unlimited, so you have to buy it. But I feel like if I buy it on Kindle, I'm eventually going to want to own the physical copy of the book. This is like reader problems. This isn't actually real. I'm not complaining. I'm just venting. Hopefully some people find this relatable. So I feel like I'm gonna have to just order the ugly versions of the book, so that way I'm not paying for it on the Kindle and also paying for a physical copy, you know? This was meant to happen. I'm so happy I cheated and I picked this. Okay, so let's run through all the books I picked out one more time. Fast by Millie Belazaire. Then I'm going to read Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. Then I'm going to read Divine Rivals by, I think, Rebecca Ross. The audiobook I'm going to listen to is called Wintering, The Power of Rest and Retreat in Difficult Times. Then for my reread, I'm going to read The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Stay tuned for a reading vlog. Then I'm going to read In the Likely Event by Rebecca Yarros. Then I'm going to read Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. Such an anticipated read, and honestly maybe I'll finish the whole series because I have a feeling I'm going to be obsessed. Comfort Zone by Alison Speck. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was fun. I don't know why I've never done this before. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. If you don't hate me, I would love to have you guys stick around. I post new videos every week. Much love. Bye.